Hey guys, Brian Martin here. We have to build on this momentum. You're probably sat there feeling like I'm feeling, where you can't wait until the next match, which is against Brighton this weekend, to see how we kick on, to see how we go. This is the turning point. I feel it. I believe it. I have been Amorim out. I'm starting to turn the corner. I'll put my hands up. I'm starting to turn the corner on Amorim. I'm not there yet. I want to see more performances. I'm starting to turn the corner. Put my hands up. I am. I am. I haven't flip-flopped. I've been Amorim out since Grimsby, but now he's putting together a couple wins. I hope it continues because ultimately I want Manchester United to do well, and I'm starting to turn the corner, partially because I see the tactical changes, right? I see a bit of thinking going on where otherwise he said he wouldn't change. And that was my complaint the whole time, is him being so rigid and stiff, but it seems like he's changing his tactics a bit and now he's getting the results. That's why I'm coming around. You can clip it up, whatever. That's why I'm coming around just a little bit. I'm not there yet, but I'm starting to turn a bit. Anyway, this whole Cunha versus Mount versus Sesko thing, it just needs to die like right now. Um, People arguing over who's the best to start. Well, it depends on the match, and Amorim just showed that, right? And it's something I've been saying too. You can't just say this is my starting 11 and that's it. You have to change things depending on your tactics for that match, right? I caught flack for this online on Twitter. Someone was like, "What? Rotate and change players with one match per week?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they called me crazy for it. And I'm like, "But you have to change personnel depending on your tactics, right?" Some players are built for certain situations, others are built for others. Again, Cunha, Mount, and Shesko, different players, they offer different things, right? Cunha, he's got no goals, but you saw against Liverpool, he was man of the match. He held up the ball well. He drew fouls when he needed to draw fouls. He had that bit of bite. He drove the ball forward. He linked up play well. Man of the match for me. No goals, but you need players like that who are going to link up and draw fouls and push the ball forward so that other players can score goals. Mount, he's got one goal this season. Same thing, like he presses well. He has that bite about him, that energy. He can link up well. And he is a goal threat, although he's only scored one. He is a goal threat. You know, he gets in around it. You know, and he'll break up play and things like that. Again, you need players like that. Shesko's got 2 goals, right? Didn't even start against Liverpool. 2 goals. That's pretty good for coming from a non-Premier League team to a Premier League team. A club as big as Manchester United with all the pressure. The guy's put 2 in the back of the net so far, and he only seems to be getting better, if you ask me. And then Mbumo, I'll throw him in the mix just because 2 goals, 1 assist, right? Again, everyone's on the Mbumo bandwagon. I am as well. But Shesko, the difference between Shesko and Mbumo is the in the Premier League anyway is the 1 assist. So anyway, we need these players. We need them all fit and firing. We need them there to rotate and to change tactics as needed. And again, you saw it pay off against Liverpool, right? You saw it, right? So we need all of them. It can't just be you know, Sheshko's a starter and no one else, or Mount's a starter and no one else, right? We have to rotate. Anyway, um, Endrick, right? Okay, Endrick, Bobby Endrick. No, no, I appreciate it, but no, right? And plus, Xabi Alonso said he's not coming anyway, right? He needs all his players, so we're just gonna leave that there. Moving on to Harry Maguire. Harry Dino, Maguadinho, whatever, name you're going to come up with, right? Seeing all the all the memes going around where they've got Harry Maguire's face plastered on like Ronaldinho or some other Brazilian players. It's pretty hilarious. Um, if this is his last season, if this is his last season at Manchester United, does he deserve elevated status in the annals, in the memories of United supporters, right? That's a question. I think he does. I think, considering what he's been through, had the armband taken off of him, continue to keep his head down and work despite all the abuse um, from people, despite all the criticism. Um, Does he deserve, I won't say legend status, but does he deserve, a bit of a folk hero status, right? Something elevated beyond a player who just played and passed through, right? That's a question. Nicky Butt has something to say about that. Nicky Butt says that Maguire has been let down by Manchester United. He says that Maguire has never had a complementing partner um, to him in the back four or whatever we're playing now, back three. So do you agree, right? Do you feel like, well, Maguire would have been better had he had a better partner? Um, maybe not. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I do think that Maguire deserves some sort of elevated status in the memories of Manchester United supporters going forward. I mean, he's come up in big games, right? He's been a great leader. Um, he's shown the young kids how it's done, really, right? You face adversity and you come back stronger. So I think he deserves elevated status. And I also think he deserves one more year. And apparently the club agrees. There are rumors that, he's going to get one more year here at Manchester United. I think those talks have now ramped up given his performance against Liverpool. So we shall see. Cinnamon Lemons, right? I said it yesterday. I'll say it again today. He's at number one. I don't think we need to go back in for Emi Martinez. I don't think we need to sign a new number one goalkeeper. I think he is our number one. He also shows that bit of fight, right? He's got that dog in him, as some people say. And I'm just thinking now, right? You look at our squad. Casemiro, he's got that fight in him, although he's lost his legs now. Then you got Mount, and you saw the team, in my opinion, has been a bit better since Mount has been part of the team. And then you got Cinnamon Lemons, right? And all three of those characters, they have this fight in them. And you add Cunha too, right? They got this bit of fight in them. That extra bit of just, I don't know, extra bit of nastiness there, right? You see it here and there with those players. And I'm starting to see that spread throughout the team. That was part of the reason why we came out victorious against Liverpool. There's that bit of fight that you see that's been missing from the club for years with these players now. And it's gotten into some players who have been here, and it's resulting, or it's giving us better results, right? Think about that. Think about that. And so I guess my crazy enough as it sounds, advice to the recruiting department, I'm sure they're never going to see this or listen to me, but it's like, yeah, that bit of fight is what we need. And I mean, and look, we've all kind of seen that it's been missing. Like I said, we all know that's what it takes to really be a champion. You got to have that bit of doggedness, that bit of fight, that, throwing a few elbows, coming in hard on tackles, things like that bit of nastiness to win things. But I think we got so used to not having it in the team that we kind of forgotten what it looks like and how that motivates the team and how that can spur you on to victory, just battling it out. So yeah, I mean, we need more players like that. So when we go into January and into summer, we need to be looking for these players who not only have the talent, but have that bit of fight. Honestly, I'd rather take a player that has a little bit less talent, but has that fight factor over a player that has more talent, but just has no fight in them, right? We can't afford to carry players on the pitch, not if we're trying to win things. Everyone's got to pull their weight. So, you know, I mean, and you think about players like Ronaldo, right? Back in the day, he had that fight in him. He had that edge. He had that bit of nastiness at times, right? So everybody needs to have it. And so I hope that again in January and in summer we go in and we get players who have that bit of fight, because I mean, again, we haven't seen it in such a long time, but seeing it is refreshing and is paying dividends. Um, so yeah. Anyway, I was just glancing ahead at the schedule. So, going back to kind of how I started the show here, we need to build. We need to continue this. And I cannot wait for the Brighton match to see how we do. I think that's the perfect match because Brighton right now are 10th and we're 9th. They're right there by us, right? I would love to see how we go into that match. But I'm excited about it, right? I'm trying to temper myself a bit here because when I get excited, I start talking 100 miles an hour and you probably can't understand me. So I'm trying to kind of, keep myself fairly calm here, but we could go on a run here. We've got Brighton, who are in 10th. We got Forest, who are in 18th. They've got Sean Dyche in charge now. I wish that Ange Postecoglou hung out just a little bit longer for a few more weeks for us to go in there and hopefully get a W. But, new manager, but hopefully no new manager bounce. Spurs are 6th. Everton 12th. Palace, that'll be tough. They're 8th. West Ham at 19th. Wolves, we got them twice. They're bottom of the league, 20th. Bournemouth are 3rd. And Villa are 11th. I mean, there's probably 8 or 9 wins there potentially, right? 8 or 9 wins potentially there, maybe even more. And honestly, what are we right now? We are what, 2 points out of the Champions League place, I think it is. And I forgot to mention, or maybe I did, I can't remember now. I'll say it again anyway. Newcastle 14th, Leeds 16th, Burnley 17th, right? So that makes up our next fixtures until we go back and play, I think it's City and then Arsenal again sometime early January. So we could go on a decent run here, right? We could get some serious points here. Again, like I said, I think we're 2 points or so out of Champions League positions, not just Europe, but Champions League positions. And then suddenly we're having a different conversation come February, right? So I cannot wait for this Brighton match. I cannot wait to see how we continue on with our current momentum, right? Because I was afraid that after beating Sunderland, we were going to go into the break and we'd lose our momentum. But no, the guys came back and kept it going. I mean, sure, you could say, okay, Liverpool, they're in a slump, but I mean, that's the game, right? You want to be a champion, you got to get out of slumps quickly. You can't let it fester. You can't let it sit. And so far, Onslaught's doing just that. Is what, 4 games now they've lost in a row. So, say what you want, whatever. But I mean, we've been in a slump too for a decade. So I mean, a decade versus 4 games, and we come in and we win. I think that's down to Manchester United being Manchester United and playing to their potential. I mean, that's the way the ball rolls. That's the way the cookie crumbles, right? So, anyway, very quickly, I won't go through the whole list of transfer targets and prospects and rumors, but there was an update on Angelo Stiller. Apparently, it's now 45 million pounds. Before I reported 35 million pounds. Apparently now it's 45 million pounds or something like that for Angelo Stiller. He is 24. He's at Stuttgart. So just a bit of information on him. You go watch him if you want to, find out more about the kind of player that he is. One thing I will say about the transfers things, and that kind of ties in with the upcoming match, Brighton, Carlos Baleba, curious to see how he plays against us. If he puts on a show, I think that's very much a come and get me plea, right? We made a bid, obviously, as you know, in summer, but he's had a bit of a stinker this season, or several, I should say, this season for Brighton by all reports. I mean, I'm not watching Brighton week in, week out, but the fans and everyone is saying that he's not been great. But if he suddenly wakes up and puts together a performance against us, this weekend, that's definitely a come and get me plea, right? So curious to watch that as well in the match. The next match against Brighton. And speaking of that, again, that is on the 25th. So I'll be dropping my match preview on the 24th or thereabouts. On the 25th, of course, I'll be doing a live match watch so we can watch together, have a conversation, hopefully watch us win and get 3 points. And then, of course, there will be the post-match discussion. Not sure if I'm going to do that live or not yet. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling on the day, right? If we lose, I'll probably, pre-record it. If we win, I'll probably do it live. But anyway, jumping to the women, they are on international break. They are back against Brighton on November 2nd. How about that? Jess Park turned up for England, so it looks like she has recovered from her concussion. No word yet on Donham, the back issue, and of course Turner won't be back until probably January, February with that knee issue. So yeah, I'll wrap it up here, guys. Again, Brighton on the 25th for the men. Join me for the watch along or match watch. The day before that or thereabouts, I will do the match preview, of course, post-match discussion. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments in terms of, what's going on with Manchester United in general, right? Like, I respond to comments. This is a small channel, so we can definitely interact, right? You won't get lost in the sauce here. Anyway, check out my other channel, Football with Brian Martin. Follow me on Twitter, X, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.